You won't believe, Alana shows up asking about my responsibility to Hannibal. I say none. Right then, food test results arrive. Results show Hannibal's ingredients are clean. Witnesses and evidence exonerate him, leaving poor Czech lost in chaos. But he is unaware Hannibal's gourmet plan has just started as he disdains unlabeled food, and a victim quietly appears in the basement. As one of the few survivors under the Great Butcher, Czech hopes to get some clues from Millie, but Millie's memory is about as reliable as a broken phone. Is this witness staring at me? It seems him just an innocent suspect, yet Czech is still doubting Hannibal, trying to use Millie to confirm his But good old Hannibal isn't bothered at all, staring graciously back at Millie. Unsurprisingly, Millie's feedback clears Hannibal of suspicion. He's not Hannibal. Meanwhile, Poe will finally get his freedom. Lack of evidence means he's off the hook, and the prosecutor drops all charges. The one helping Will is none other than the assistant to the Great Butcher. Czech finds Will, hoping he can help catch the butcher, but will firmly stay. Hannibal is the butcher. After that, Czech takes Will back to the scene of crime. He tells Will about the recent string of gruesome events to uncover the truth. Will powers up his empathy skills to reveal a shocking fact. Subtitle: The killer, while the victim was still alive and breathing, planted saplings inside their bodies until they sprouted. Will pieces together a larger conspiracy involving the butcher. Not killing Millie means he's aiming for a bigger splash. Putting all the clues together, Will figures Hannibal as the prime suspect. But checks all in on believing Hannibal is sincere. He ignores Will's warnings again and drags Millie to Hannibal's house. He's hoping to jog Millie's lost memory, but Czech is left disappointed as Millie still can't remember the killer's face, which lands the case in even deeper trouble. However, shortly after, the forensic team finds new leads in the multiple cases. Hannibal's fingerprints are on the petals, and other clues pop up in Millie's subtitles. All these clues point directly to Dr. Chilton. Czech's exceptional insight once again clears Hannibal of suspicion. Little did Chilton know he was just a pawn in Hannibal's game. That day, he returns home to find Gideon minus a few limbs. He realizes something's off and tries to run, only to be dragged to Hannibal's house by Czech, finding Gideon in an even worse state. Sensing danger, Chilton turns to flee, only to bump into Hannibal, while the agents show up, and as Chilton tries to call for help, he's knocked out cold. When he wakes up, covered in blood and holding a gun, he steps inside, finding the agent has been got. The method is identical to the butcher's work. Chilton realizes he's been set up as the fall guy. He rushes to Will to recount everything. Shared background in medicine and psychology makes Chilton the prime scapegoat for Hannibal, but Will warns him not to rush for the exit. Just then, Chilton hears a noise outside. Peeking out, he realizes Will has already tipped off Czech, and Poofy's taken back to the precinct for questioning. All the evidence indicates that he is the butcher. Even Millie regains memories upon seeing Chilton, and Czech hurriedly rushes to comfort Millie. Then Millie makes a move, snatches Czech's gun, and knocks Chilton out cold in the interrogation room, and then Will makes a shocking decision. He heads over to Hannibal's, hoping for therapy while the town's buzzing about an odd murder. Innocent girl stitched into a horse's belly. The autopsy later shows clear strangulation marks. She was definitely stuffed inside out after being choked. Meanwhile, good-hearted Hannibal uncovers another layer to the killer's intention, but sharp Czech is still left in the dark. But Hannibal won't give Czech a straight answer. This victim is unlike the others. We need to find someone who stands out. Clearly, Hannibal is plotting to drag Will into this mess. The police bring the body back for investigation, finding the victim is named Sarah and was recently missed. The forensic team turns up empty-handed. Just as they are about to re-examine, something strange unfolds in the morgue. Hearing this, Czech can't hold back any longer, placing his hands on the victim's chest as the coroner slices it open, checking if she's still alive. To everyone's shock, a bloody raven bursts out, and this bizarre scene sends chills down Czech and the other spines. To crack the case, Czech reluctantly calls in Will. Through Will's empathy, they uncover something very odd. This unsettling sense just confounds them until Will explains the killer is playing doctor, trying to save his daughter in a twisted, breathing way. Then Will takes Jack to a cabin where they find Peter, a former stable hand, who seems a little off. Under Jack's questioning, they learn Peter got kicked while feeding a horse, so he can't really manage to see and touch the same thing simultaneously. His condition worsens under pressure. As they leave the cabin, they speculate that even if Peter isn't the killer, he surely knows something. Not long after, more bodies pop up near the stables. Will believes Peter holds the key to the case, so he returns to pry the truth out of him. Peter spills the beans about a psychologist named Lamb. I've taken issue with the deaths of 16 women. How does that feel? I made sure there was no evidence. With no substantial evidence, Jack has to let Lamb go. Will hopes Jack won't make that mistake. If Lamb's off the hook, Peter will be the first to suffer. But Jack ignores Will's advice, and soon a tragedy befalls Peter's home, as he discovers his beloved horses lying in a pool of blood. The horse killer turns out to be the recently released Lamb, who starts mind-twisting Peter, attempting to frame him for the girl's murder. When Will and Hannibal, Peter's frantically stitching the horse back together, and both men know Lamb is lurking nearby to get to the bottom of it, Will pulls Peter aside. Will asks why he would want to kill Lamb, but Peter insists he's innocent. I just wanted to teach Lamb a lesson. Meanwhile, Lamb is creeping closer. Lamb grabs a hammer, ready to take Peter out, only to run into Hannibal's friendly face, while Will's aiming a gun at Lamb. What could go wrong with a dark barrel? Lamb, terrified, begs for mercy, trying to shift all the blame to Peter, but this desperate play lights a fire in Will just when it seems dire. Hannibal intervenes just in time, and it seems the dynamics between him and Will have become even more intricate. A truck driver meets his end in the snow, and the coroner finds he likely fell victim to an animal attack, probably a bear or wolf. But Will thinks that's impossible, because bears and wolves never eat on sight. They prefer to pack it up and enjoy later.